the track.
Peace, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Sling Hope, and I got another story time for y'all. In this story, I'm gonna be telling y'all how son grabbed Shawty as a human shield because she was about to get boomed, man. It was crazy. Get what I'm saying? But before I even get into the story time, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share if you messing with my content. And I like to give my thanks and my gratitude to the people that have been rocking with me and riding with me. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, by the way, man, I got a new comb. I'm saying I got a new beard comb. I hear that wooden combs is wooden. And I hear that wooden combs are actually good combs for the beard, you know, better than plastic. That's what I heard. I didn't really look much into it. I don't know, you know, I guess the plastic follicles is not really good for hair. I don't think it's just for the beard hair. I think it's just for hair in general, but whatever. So boom, back into the story, right? So one day we was on the Ave, right? So like I told y'all before, we kind of like took over, and you know, so now like the homies kind of like went into hiding, kind of, you know, like we was out there on the regulating, and they was kind of like, they went into kind of like hiding. So now they not repping their colors like they used to. They not so out on the open anymore because every time we caught them, we was crashing them. You feel me? So it was like a rainy day. It was a muggy day. It wasn't really raining, but I think it had rained that morning. So it was kind of like a gloomy day. You know, like them days that they ain't really no sun out. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like gray. The skies look gray. It's cloudy. And you could smell the wetness. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not raining, but you could smell the wetness outside, right? So, you know, we doing what we regular do, patrolling, you know, like we used to do. So we outside by the train station chilling. And then, like I said, the Bloods had went into hiding. So what we used to do at this point is, my mans and them, I never really did this, but my mans and them, what they used to do is they used to come out with red rags or come out with red beads, you know, to kind of like catch the Bloods out there. You feel me? So this was just the game we was playing, you know. So we was by the train station talking to the shorties, regular shit that we used to do, patrol and talk to the shorties. I told y'all this. We teenagers, this all we cared about, getting some buns and smashing some Bloods and getting our status up. That's all we cared about, right? So you know, when you take over new territory, you gotta patrol it, right, to make sure that it stays your territory. You also have to keep boots on the ground. You know, this is like an army terminology, right? When the army invades other countries, they usually keep army units. When the military invades another country, they usually keep some army units behind just to, you know, kind of like you gotta hold on to the new territory that you got. So anyway, we by the train. So some dude pull up. He try to like piece the homie. Like he try to piece the homeboy, right? So he said, "Yo, what's poppin'?" He said, "What's poppin', Scrap?" So the homeboy was like, "Ain't shit popping, nigga, what's cracking?" So he put his hand away and just walked off. Like, you feel me? It was mad funny because, you know, when you in the streets, and I've been in these situations too many times to name, right? Because like I said, Bloods is outnumbered, they outnumber Crips. So it was almost like a Crip was always tested, right, when he seen Bloods, because it was always more of them, and he always had to keep this mad dog demeanor. Even though Mad Dog's a bloodshed or something like that. But you get what I'm saying? Like, he had to keep this angry dog demeanor, like, what's up? You know, like, so like, when people used to ask me if I was Crip, I already had like this sense of like, what's cracking? Like I already knew it was gonna be problems. Even if there wasn't problems, I just took it like that because I used to look at it like everybody Blood, you feel me? So boom. So he did, you know, he didn't even try to like go, you know, he didn't try to fight for his shit, he didn't try to snuff my man, he didn't try to do nothing, he walked off. Now, like I said, I've been in this position before too many times, and even if I'm by myself, like I was always on some aggressive shit, right? But anyway, so he walks off. We stayed doing what we was doing. We laughing and shit because it's like we already know our response when somebody when it's the other way around, we already know, like, we snuffing somebody. We don't care if we get jumped. So he did the opposite. He goes off. So he walks one way. You know, we've seen him come back. By the time he came back, he was with another dude. So it was two of them now. So we looking at him, but they not coming across the street to confront us. Then he walks the other way. He comes back. Now it's four of them, right? It's four of them, and it's three of us. So, but they still don't want to kind of like fight. Like, they just standing across the street like this, like staring at us, right? So we like staring at them like, dudes is pussy. I'm just using the language from back then, you know what I'm saying, for the story purposes. And again, this is all for entertainment. This ain't no glorification. It's just entertainment. So I don't want none of you people to come here and be butthurt, because I ain't glorifying nothing. And I ain't trying to say nothing about individual factions. You feel me? Like, all that shit is corny at the end of the day today. Even back then, we just didn't know better because we was young. So anyway, they standing across the street just looking at us or whatever. Around the same time, my other mans and them had pulled up because they had just did a robbery. Another thing of the gang, right? You gotta constantly be doing some type of crime to kind of like generate money for the gang or whatever. So my other two mans, they kind of like had robbed some dudes for their phones. That was like a big thing back then. You know, they took their sockets or some shit. So they was like, yo, we need to like chill, lay low in the crib type shit. So I'm like, I leave. We leave, we go. We go in the crib. So like, I was in the crib for like 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, my mans called me like, yo, bro, like, yo, remember them same dudes from earlier? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, yo, they just tried to front, bro. I'm like, this is crazy. So he's like, yo, bring my chick downstairs. Chick was a code we used to use to talk about, you know, the tone, the bone crusher. You feel me? Like, bone crusher's a jail, but you know, he was talking about, you know, get his gun type shit. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, bring my chick downstairs. So I was like, all right, boom. I come downstairs, boom, we outside, and then so it's funny because when we come around the back, like, we outside now, we come around the back. It was like 4 of us. It was like 4 or 5 of us. So we come around the back, we see the dudes. It was like 4 of us, I think. So we come around the back, so we see them now. So we see the dudes across the street. It was like 4. It was like 4 or 5 of them too. It was like the same number. Like, so we look at them and we like, yo. They turned around. They looked at us. So when they looking at us, we like, yo, what's up? Y'all wanna, like, you know, cause we was at a distance, so we not gonna yell like all the way like, y'all wanna fight? Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's basically what we were saying. We was like, yo, y'all wanna, you know, y'all wanna shake? Like, what's up? Bro, they looked at each other. They all looked at each other, and it's almost like they gave each other the look to run. Like, and they all just ran unison at the same time. The shit was so crazy. Like, it was mad funny. You feel me? So we like, look at these, you know, these pooms motherfuckers, man. Like, so they took off. So I'm like, again, when I was in the streets, like, especially if I got a firearm on me, I'm not chasing nobody. Like, I really don't want you that bad unless you probably did something. But for the most part, I have principles. I'm not chasing nobody, because if the cops see me chasing you, I'm hot, right? Like, I'm not shooting from across the street. I'm not shooting if you would have cracked. I'm just not going to do certain things. So I didn't believe in chasing these dudes, because that just make you hot and you got a firearm on you. That's just stupid. And this is in the era where the police was hopping out like crazy on dudes, right? Like this. So I was just like, it wasn't even 2000. This is like 2009 or some shit, 2008. Like, so this is the era, like, they hopping out. Like, so I'm like, I'm not chasing them. So I was just like, I don't want to chase them. So crazy thing is, the dude that we was with, that I ended up clapping, right? He was just kind of like, nah, we got to make an example out of these dudes. You feel me? And I'm just like, I knew it was a bad idea. But my other mans was like, yeah, like, fuck that. You get what I'm saying? So we like, all right. He said, we got to make an example. We got to let dudes know they can't be, you know what I'm saying? They can't be fucking around. Like, so I'm like, all right, whatever. Mind you, the whole time the police is watching us, but I'm going to come back to that, because this is important about everything. So we walk. Yeah, so we walk. So we walking after these dudes, right? We like speed walking, kind of like, we're not running, but we like, you know, we walking like mad fast, whatever. So we ended up catching up to a straggler. You know what a straggler like. The rest of the dudes kind of like got low dipped on this dude, and it was just one dude walking. He was a little chubby. It was one dude walking, straggling, right? So, son Ratatouille, if y'all seen my other stories, y'all know who Ratatouille is. So Ratatouille was with us, and he like, yo, let me get the gun. So we like, he was like, yeah, let me take care of this one. I want to do this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all starting to catch up to me. I don't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Again, gang shit is a competition. You commit crimes, you acts of violence against other people. This is how you get your stripes. This is how you get your, you know what I'm saying? So he said like, yeah, y'all catching up to me, blah, 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 XYZ. So we like, all right, whatever, right? We give him the gun. So we catch up to the straggler. What he does is he cocks the gun back, right? Then he set the gun jam. That gun was a brand new gun. It was not even like, never really jammed before, right? And he cocked the gun. So I seen him cock the gun. He aims the gun at son. We was right behind him. He aimed the gun at son, and he goes, fuck! Like, he said the gun jam. So I'm just like, he's stupid. In reality, I think the gun was still on safety. Matter of fact, no, because we already had one in the head. So he didn't, I think it was in safety. I don't think he cocked it. It was always one in the head, you feel me? It was on safety, my bad. It was on safety, so it probably was on safety, and he probably didn't really pay attention. But anyway, I think that's really what happened. He said the gun jam, like, whatever. So he says, like, I don't know what he did, but he said, fuck. Next thing you know, the dude turns around, he's seen us, he's like, oh shit, he started running again, right? So we like, so now at this point, we just own him, like, cause we was already mad close, like, oh, excuse me. So now we just own him. Yo, we get around the block, cause we, this is like probably 3 blocks. So we get around the block. He's like, y'all got the wrong person. Y'all got the wrong person. Mind you, by the time we got around the block, son was holding a girl. He was holding like some random chick. Like, he was holding some random chick like a human shield. I know y'all think I'm bullshitting. This shit might sound like some movie shit to y'all, but this was some real shit. There's witnesses to this shit. Like, yo, if there was cameras back then, like there is now, like, it's crazy, like the amount of shit that was going on. So boom, so son, mind you, now then some other people seen this, some other people from the neighborhood seen this, and they already knew he was up to no good. And I don't like that, because there'd be witnesses, when shit happen, when shit go down. Now somebody gonna be like, if somebody tell them like, yeah, we seen such and such, we seen. So I was like, damn, we just seen some people, like, you feel me, like. Anyway, this dude got Shorty like in the hell out like this, like mad close. Like he was like, you don't want to shoot the girl now. You don't want. But before that, he's like, you got the wrong guy. You got the wrong person. So we like, shut up. We know it's you, because he was the only one that had the color sweater that he had on. You feel me? Like, so he like, you got the wrong. But it could be true, because maybe he didn't really know what the shit was about. You know how like sometimes your mans get into some shit, and then he might come call you like, yo, they just try to front on me, but you don't really know the whole story behind it, and you just decide to go with them. That's why I be telling people, you gotta be mindful of what your mans is doing or who. But when you in the gang, it don't even matter. When the soldiers call, when somebody like, yo, it's time to get it on, it's time to get it on. So I also get that, so. But at the same time, I think he didn't really know what was going on. Maybe, I don't know. I just think he was just trying to cop the plea, like a lot of dudes do when they know they're in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's the same thing, right? Like a lot of blood dudes cop the plea in the streets, and a lot of Crips do it in jail. A lot of Crips do it in the street too, and a lot of Bloods do it in jail. Like, that shit just always happen, man. Like, either you got it in you or you don't, So anyway. And a lot of times people do weird shit trying to save their life and preserve themselves in a certain way. So I kind of get it. So anyway, so now son is like, he got the hammer out, and Ratatouille got the hammer out. So he like, yo, so he like, you got the wrong person. So he holding the girl. You don't want to shoot the girl. You don't want to shoot the girl, man. So we like, yo, get off her. Yo, it was so crazy, because it was a girl with like her 3 friends, and he grabbed one of them. So again, I told you the gun was already, you know what I'm saying? Ratatouille does this. He cocks the gun again. Oh, it was already one in the head. So he cocks the gun again, and the bullet drops. So, because it's one in the head. So when he cocks it, a bullet drops on the floor. Like, and I'm just like, I be thinking about all of this shit. When I was in prison, I was thinking about all of this shit. Because I told you, the dude told on me, right? So I'm sitting here like, boom. Bullet drops. He tells the little, like when he looks down on the floor, the dude pushed the girl and he took off. So son let off, you know what I'm saying? He let off mad shots. Like, bah, 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 bah. Like, just some wild, crazy shit, right? And we just did. But my little mans, he told my little mans pick up the bullet. You know what I'm saying? So my little mans pick up the bullet. We go about our business, right? And then so we walking back down the block. But this, pause real quick in the story. When I was locked up, I thought about these things. I thought about how Ratatouille never really committed no crimes with us. Get what I'm saying? He committed probably like one crime. But he never really committed no crime with us. Get what I'm saying? He never really, it's almost like he wanted to be around to see shit. I feel like he been was an Asian, but I don't care. This video is not about that, right? But the point is, pay attention to people, bro, who you never seen do shit. Like, you ain't got shit on them, but they got mad shit on you. Pay attention to people who know where you live, but you don't know where they live. Pay attention to people who know about your whereabouts, know about your working areas, like know about your business, and you don't know shit about them. You get what I'm saying? They know what your mama look like. They know your brothers. They know like certain things. Because this is what these people do, man. When it comes time to deceive you and backstab you and backdoor you, they got way more information about you than you got information about them. This is kind of like how I got backdoor. You get what I'm saying? Dudes know where you live. You don't know where they live. Dudes know when to pop up. Where's your hangout spots? What your family might look like. Like, they know a lot of things about you, but you don't know shit about them. So a lot of times, I never let nobody meet my family. When I was gangbanging, I never went to family picnics and events and none of that shit. I never had like people see me with them. None of that, right? Because gotta be mindful of how people move. So anyway, boom. We coming back down the block now. You know, some regular shit. La 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 la. Yo, how when we get back to the strip, the paddy wagon. It was a paddy wagon. It was a paddy wagon that been out there that started driving slow. You feel me? Like when we was walking down the block. So they started driving like kind of closer. So we looking around and we like, oh, look at them. So we laughing. We like, look at them. They mad soft. They ain't even move. You feel me? But now they started moving. Because back then, I don't know about now, but like when gunshots go off, like usually the regular blue and whites police, they wait for the DTs. Like they were never on some real shit. My man's got into a shootout and the police was the blue and whites, the regular blue and white, you know what I'm talking about, the regular uniform police. They was on the next block, right? And my man's got into a shootout with another dude and the police never came. Like the police was literally on foot on the next block and they never like ran down the block. They never like, you know, they never did that. What they did was they kind of radio, they wait till the detectives get there. I believe that was protocol. I don't know if it's still protocol, but they usually wait for the detectives to get there and then they make their move. It's almost like in the army, like, you know, like when the gunshots ring out in the army, like, I mean, in the military, and you know how the Marines is usually the first ones, they kind of like run to the gunfire. It's kind of like a similar thing like that, because the DTs is the ones that got the big ass bulletproof vests. I don't know if it's a different level than the regular cop, but you get what I'm saying. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about if y'all was out there when they was wilding Tuesdays and Thursdays, TNT. They was hopping out with the football jerseys and big ass bulletproof vests, getting crazy, slamming dudes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So anyway, the regular blue and whites, they didn't do nothing. They was just like slow dragging, like driving kind of like next to us. And then we was just walking, like, you know, some regular shit. So what happened was I crossed the street, right? Like, so it was 3 of us at this time. So as I'm walking, I separate myself from the group and I go across the street, right? My other two mans and them, they stayed on this side of the street. I went to the left. So as I crossed the street, the paddy wagon, which is the van, they started driving in the middle of the lane, like they driving right above the yellow line, right? So I'm like, I already know they about to hop out of me. I peep, but I'm acting stupid, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm walking, I'm like, yeah, they about to hop out of me. So I'm walking, I turned. So what I did was, I didn't even go straight. I didn't go to my building. I turned into the projects kind of. So when I turned in, When I turned in, what they try to do is they try to bust a hard turn in the middle of the street to drive into the projects and I guess hop out on me all crazy. And then the other homeboys was there. It was mad homeboys there, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they was just like chilling, like waiting, whatever. So like when we pulled, cause they didn't know where we went. Like, so when we pulled up, the patty tried to do that, but the car broke down in the middle of the street. So yo, they hopped out. So they like, yo, freeze again. So I'm like, yo, like chill. So, cause I seen this girl, so I'm about to give her a hug. Whether that was my girlfriend's friend at the time. So they like, yo, freeze. So I put my hands up and I turn around. I'm like, yo, chill. Like I'm kind of like, yo, y'all wilding right now. You feel me? Again, around this time, it wasn't a lot of cameras. So we wasn't really seeing a lot of like police shootings, like caught on tape. Like we wasn't really hearing about those things. We wasn't really seeing them. So it wasn't, I ain't really wasn't really taking it serious like that. Cause I remember I put my hands in my pocket to grab my phone, which was a stupid shit. But I had a Psychic LX, the brand new purple shit. You feel me? Matter of fact, I still got my shit. You feel me? I had my Psychic LX, my purple shit. You feel me? So I was like, man, this shit was brand new. It cost me $500. I'm like, they not about to, cause I already know they're gonna slam me and probably break my, like my body pressure probably would have broke my phone. So I grabbed my phone out my pocket. Yo, that dude almost shot me. I ain't gonna hold you. It was an Asian cop too. And I already knew they were about to tackle me, right? So I'm just like, so the homegirl, she screaming like, oh, don't shoot. Like she going crazy. I'm there like, yo, y'all wilding right now. Like, you feel me? But I'm just like, you know, I'm a young, stupid teenager. I think this shit is a joke. It's cool. It's publicity. It's cookie points. So I'm not even really taking this shit as serious, right? I'm just like, yo, chill. Like, you wilding. So I got on my knees because I already know they gonna come over here, tackle me. As they doing this to me, I noticed that across the, I didn't even notice yet that the DTs was across the street. They already had pulled up across the street on my mans and them. So I get down on my knees before like they could like really tackle me and go crazy. They still fake tackle me, right? They tackle me. They kick my phone out my hand like it was a gun. The one dude had the gun like to the back of my shit. The other dude was cuffing me. It was just crazy. So the girl was there screaming, you want me to call your girl? So I was like, yeah, call her. So they search me. I ain't had the gun. So police philosophy, because police is dumb, right? And their mind is like this. We did the shooting, and whoever separates himself from the group usually has the gun. The lone gunman, right? The lone wolf, the lone whatever psychology they began taught. So because I separated myself from the group, it was like, he probably got the gun, and those are the decoys over there. And you know the stupid shit they be thinking. So that's why they went so hard when they had the guns out on me. You feel me? So they picked me up. I had like money in my pocket. They took my bread. They took my money. They had my phone. And they walking me to the car. So they walking me to the paddy wagon. So as they walking me to the paddy wagon, my mans and them right there, they're like, yo, what's going on? Like, I'm like, bro, I don't even know. But I'm laughing like the same way I'm laughing like this. It's like, cause you know you ain't do nothing. I mean, they ain't really got you doing nothing. They don't, so it's like, you laughing at them like they look stupid. Like, you feel me? So they walking me to the car and I'm like, yo, like y'all bugging. Like, feel me? So by the time I get to the paddy wagon, which was in the middle of the street, I seen the DTs had pulled up on my mans and them across the street, so they had just searched them. So I was like, oh, that's why they got a little bold. You know what I'm saying? The DTs pulled up. So the DTs seen them putting me, they put me in the van. The DTs thought they found someone. So my uncle happened to be, so I'm telling the police officer, the lady, yo, give my phone to Shawty. I'm telling her, like, yo, give my phone to Shawty. Like, I'm to my Shawty friend, right? So I was like, give her my phone. She's like, no, I'm not giving her shit. So I'm like, yo, why you, like, talking crazy? I give her my phone. Like, you feel me? She's like, no, I'm not giving it to her. I was like, that's my phone, and I want her to have it. So, like, give her my phone. She was like, nah. And then she just started going in. But this is what the police lady cop told me. She said, you know, she was like, y'all so stupid. Y'all want to be out here killing each other, like doing all this dumb shit. She was like, y'all don't even realize we seen y'all. She said, we seen y'all the whole time. She said, we seen y'all chase those dudes. I was like, this shit is crazy. So they was at a distance just watching everything play out. Because like I said, when we was out there wilding on the Ave, they had put a police tower because we was just wilding and bugging. So they put a police tower on the Ave, and she told me like, yo, we was watch. She said, we watched y'all. She said, we watched y'all chase them dudes, you know. Then we heard the gunshots. and then we watch y'all return. Like, y'all literally gave us like the probable cause kind of shit, like, you feel me? And then she tried to lie. She said that I matched the description, which is their favorite line, and I really didn't match no goddamn description, but that's another story. So I had an Aeropostale sweatshirt. Y'all know Aeropostale used to be the shit. Aero used to be like the shit back then, you feel me? Like American Eagle, Abercrombie and Fitch, all that shit, you feel me? Like put the polo, the naughty, the like, come on, man, I'm on. But anyway, right? Before the polo and all that shit, you know, Aeropostale was in for a little bit, right? So boom, right? So I had this this sweater that I had is like, it wasn't a lot of people that had this shit. Like, it wasn't no regular sweater. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how Arrow had the regular sweaters, and then they had other sweaters that was kind of like unique, and they used to sell out, and like, you know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so boom, she tried to tell me I matched the description. We watched that, I chased them dudes, etc., etc. So I'm just thinking in the back of my head, you see, this is why I ain't gonna do that shit to begin with. But the stupid ratatouille, you want to do that shit, which I kind of get it, because you do got to make an example out of dudes, especially if you don't want dudes thinking it's okay to come back through your block. You know, you got to let them know the law of the land. Like, you just can't think you just going to be walking through here, or you going to know, you going to remember, you know what I'm saying, the level of aggression, you know. So anyway, my uncle happened to be driving past when they had me in the paddy wagon. So he pulled over and got out his car. So he was just like, yo, what's going on with my nephew? So the lady was like, well, you know, there was a shooting and he's a suspect. I'm like, yo, they going crazy. My uncle looking at me like, what? I'm like, I don't know what they talking about. They lying on me. They lying on me. So my uncle was like, what the hell? So I'm like, yo, give him my phone. I just wanted somebody to take my phone. Like, you feel me? So I'm like, yo, give him my phone. Like, give him my phone. So he takes my phone. So they like trying to let me go. Like, so my uncle go talks to the DTs. You know, the DTs run shit. You know what I'm saying? The regular blue and white cops, they don't know what the fuck be going on. My uncle goes up to the DT, and he's like, what's going on? Because my man's in them over there like, yo, what's going on with the fake, man? Like, what's up? So my uncle goes to the DT. The DT, like, they come over there, they're like, why y'all still got him in the car? Like, what, y'all found something on him? And they scratching their head, and she's like, well, I thought we was gonna take them in. And he like, we didn't find nothing on the other dudes. And cause you know, they just be coming for the firearm. No firearm, no nothing. If nobody really saying we seen them do this, like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying, they don't got no firearm on them, let them go. Excuse me. So it was like, it's no firearm. They're like, yeah, you gotta let him go. They was like, did he have something? They was like, all he had was money. Like, and they was like, all right, no drugs, no nothing, like, let him go. So they let me go. I was mad hype, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the crazy thing is, my mans that had the gun, he was just like when the boys pulled up on me, my mans with the gun, he had just like, he was right there in the vicinity too, you feel me? Cause you know how you do the shit, you bust down, you get the holster, like, y'all already know how shit go. So it was crazy, man. We did a lot of dumb shit. But again, this is not to glorify, this is just, and I gave y'all a little jump. Pay attention to the people who so-called act like they're on your team, man, and they just really agents. They're gathering information to sink the ship. Or when it's time, when the when the ship is sinking, these are the dudes that know information. They know what's what. You get what I'm saying? They know where the hangout is at. They know where the guns, the stash house is at. They know who your family look like. They know the crimes you done, so they could tell on you. They got ammunition. But if you got something on other, that's how you gotta test people's loyalty. So I mean, that's how we used to do it back in the days. You usually had to do something too around us, so we could be like, all right, cool. So you down? You know what I'm saying? Because we all gotta have shit on each other. But when you don't got shit on nobody, and some people come around just to scheme and watch what you do and see what crimes they could hold against you when that time. You get what I'm saying? So we don't want to be in that situation. If you're running around in the streets, I encourage you to get out. Ain't nothing good in this. It's dumb. We destroying the community. And then we want to complain about gentrification, but we ruining our communities. But that's a whole nother conversation that I'm going to get into, because I'm going to make another video about that. But the moral of the story, man, it's just like, the shit was dumb, but we didn't know no better. We was young. We thought it was cool. We trying to get our stripes. So we was out here willing to do something to somebody just of the sense of color. Like, this is the type of games we play. We play games with people's lives, you know, because we wanted some status. We wanted some stripes. We wanted some cookie points. Like, yeah, I'm a real nigga. I'm a real nigga. That's what we did it for. So people could say, son is a real nigga right there. He was out here tearing the blood. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I hear people talk about my reputation a certain way, I'm not gonna say that I don't feel good, right? Because there's a lot of dudes that did sucker shit. There's a lot of dudes that did rat shit, snake shit, envious shit, like bird shit, like, you know what I'm talking about. So it feels good that I've always been a stand-up dude. It feels good to know, like, I ain't never fold. I ain't never do nothing funny. I ain't never throw no dirt on nobody's name. I ain't never, like, you know, just never did no foul play. Like, I will stand up from the beginning to the end. You get what I'm saying? So I take pride in my reputation as a man, knowing that I held my shit. When I went to prison, I did my time. I ain't bother my mother. I didn't bother nobody. Because I'm a man and I'm responsible for my actions. And I held that shit down. I didn't complain. I did my time and I worked on myself and I bettered myself. So by the time I came home, I had a different mindset. But I acknowledged my faults. I didn't blame my environment. I didn't say I'm in jail because I'm black. The police is conspiring against me. No, I was an agent of the state and an agent of destruction in my community. Which is why I go hard today, to try to reverse that. I'm not going to fully reverse it, but at least I'm doing some work to kind of like try to help others see that this shit not it, homie. You think it's cool. You think it's cool, but it's not it. Because we don't talk about those wet pillows. We don't talk about those hard moments. We don't talk about those suicidal thoughts. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about the nervousness, the fear when you out there. You don't know if you're going to die or you're going to get caught by the police. We don't talk about that shit. So because we don't talk about that, we just talk about the glorifying. Like, yeah, I was a real, man, I was stepping to them dude. Man, they was scared. You see how scared they was? You see how scared they was? Yeah. Yeah, that's what we talk about. We glorify about that shit. But we don't talk about, like, yo, I ain't going to hold you. I was scared. I thought I was going to die tonight. Like, we don't put that in the forefront of our message. It's just like the women. Women do the same thing. They don't put at the forefront of their message how hard it is to raise a kid by themselves. No, they say shit like, I don't need you. I could do it on my own. But they don't talk about the crying nights. They don't talk about the suicidal thoughts. They don't talk about how they be on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Some of them actually do be having nervous breakdowns. They don't be talking about that shit. We don't talk about the pain, the hurt. So every time we talk about this, we talk about it in the sense of, yeah, I was that dude. I was that dude. Everybody was scared of me. Everybody was scared of me. So yeah, man. So something like I said, I'm a man, and you know, I fall short, and I do like sometimes when I hear like people talking about the times of ignorance, and they glorifying me in a certain way. It's not good, but I always, you know, I always remember to tell people like, nah, that's just not cool. But I'm just saying, as a human being, I do take pride that I never did no sucker shit to any of my homies or anybody who I consider my friends, and I always been a stand-up dude. Not exactly at what I did. I don't glorify that, but I do like the fact that I always been a stand-up dude. Let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section, and make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share if y'all mess with the content. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.